So, today I wanted to talk a little bit about our world and how our world is going to be shaped probably in the next few years. I think that, talking about air pollution and everything like that, and light pollution and stuff like that, just crazy things that, I'm going to turn this light on too. Just crazy things that we've thought about, in history. And I think that air pollution, okay, we can, we get all kinds of theories on how air pollution can destroy the world and stuff like that. And I just don't think, unless God wanted air pollution to destroy the world, I don't think air pollution would destroy the earth. That's one thing I don't believe, is that air pollution will destroy the world. God said that he would come down and destroy the world himself. I don't believe that the earth will explode on command. Just anytime. I don't believe that our world will just go into a black hole or anything like that. I don't believe in black holes. I've never seen one. So, I don't believe in Norse gods. I don't believe in Greek gods. I believe in Jesus. And one of the things for Jesus is he is real. He's in my heart. See, one of the things is that people get mixed up is God's going to come back in the end times and save all of us. God's going to bring joy and peace and stuff. And it doesn't say in the Bible that, not that I've seen at least, that air pollution is going to destroy the world. I don't think that's a fact. I don't think that's a factor that we need to be worrying about. And I don't think it's a thing that we need to be really careful we don't destroy the world, because God will come back eventually and destroy the earth himself. Now, I know that there can be lots of air pollution, in some places where you cannot see anything. Well, let me tell you something. That's what wind is for. Wind is to guide that stuff another direction and spread it out. Rain can do the same thing. Rain can wash all that stuff out. It'll take a couple days, but that's what it's used for. Lightning and stuff is used for electricity. Rain is used for resources like watering your plants, watering everything. That's why God gave us rain, and so that we could water, so that we didn't have to water our plants every 45 minutes, every day. God gave us these things, or these resources, so that we would be able to live and not have to keep using the well or and God made gas, God made oil, with these oil rigs and stuff like that. I don't believe that the oil spills are gonna destroy the ocean. If anything, the oil is just gonna go back into the soil it belongs in. I get that it can hurt the animals in the water, but who gives a crap about the water and the animals? God doesn't give a crap about the animals as much as he does us. God puts more love into us than he does his own animals. I'm not kidding you. I don't think that God could care less about animals. He loves animals, but he loves us more. That's why we kill animals. That's why he gave us animals to eat off. He gave us ducks. He gave us chickens. He gave us, cows. He's given us all these things to eat and stuff. And people say that, it's murder or something like that. Obviously this video is just basically about all the things that God's given us that people are using as an excuse to why the earth is going to be destroyed. I'm going to turn this off, actually. And the Earth would only be destroyed by air pollution if we had thousands of factories. I mean, Minnesota only has or the if between Bailey and Bemidji, there's only one air pollution or air factory, and I know that garbage pollution, that is a big thing. Garbage is a big thing too. That is one thing I do believe in, that garbage will destroy the earth, but I don't think that it would, because my grandparents, all our ancestors have buried things. Our ancestors, people bury houses, people bury people, people bury everything. People bury cars. People, I just don't think that our world's gonna be destroyed by what they think, by what the world thinks. Just like evolution. I don't think the humans were made by what God, what the humans say it is. That's why it's a theory, because it ain't real. God put Adam and Eve on this earth. He did not, and you know what? He put all the other, my friend keeps asking me this. Why is Adam and Eve, they had 2 boys, and how are they created, or how are all the other people created? God put them on the earth. Adam and Eve weren't born. They were created and put on the earth. I was born, obviously, because of ancestors and stuff. I was born. We're not evolution. There's no doubt that evolution is just some lame excuse for a reason why they're not allowing God to be in our lives. And evolution is a good reason why there's no truth. Okay. Thing is that they don't want to admit that there's a God. They don't want to admit that God created people. They don't want to admit that God created the heavens and the earth. And there's no proof of what, or evolution, or Big Bang Theory, or any of the stuff that happens in the world, any of the crap. I mean, all the wars and stuff, that's normal. We've been going through wars since time started. I mean, that's perfectly normal. But when we're looking at, I'm gonna just put some lotion on my hands. My hands are dry. But when we're looking at, when people are saying that we're gonna die from air pollution, this earth is gonna cease when, in a couple of 1,000 years. The earth will cease when God says it'll cease. God will say when the earth gets destroyed, not when people say it's going to get destroyed. The thing is, my last Christian video, I was talking about living the way that God wants you to, not the way the world wants you to. And, part of that is thinking the way God wants you to, and doing things the way that God wants you to. And, everything has to do with God. Everything. The cars, God made the people that made the cars, okay? If we didn't have cars, we would be doomed. I guess not really, because people did use horses and carriages and stuff. And I think that would be a lot easier than putting gas in a car every 5 minutes. But I think the electric cars and everything, that stuff is just stupid. And I do believe that we need to keep using gas. We need to keep using oil, because, even if we did lose oil and gas, we have horses, we have donkeys, we have, cows. Back when Jesus was alive, they didn't have cars, they didn't have planes, they didn't have trains, they didn't have any transportation except for the transportation that God gave them, which is donkeys, camels, and horses. And thousands and other animals that they used to eat off of, to, do things, because, like, before humans were ever a thing, there were things called dinosaurs. And, dinosaurs were a big thing because that's what makes fossil fuels, fossil fuel. And, I think God had good intentions on that, because if God didn't extinct the dinosaurs, God just extinct them. I don't think there's any proof that, asteroids did probably destroy them, but I don't think there's any proof that, like, our Earth froze over, because if our Earth froze over, it would be dead. But our Earth would be probably no longer. But, we, I just hate how there's people out there that will say that, the Earth was made by an object in space, or created by, something in space that's just, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. When I think about it, it doesn't really make sense, because obviously we live in a time now where people are believing the internet, people are believing the social media, people are believing what people say. Come on now. We're living in hell, basically, now. There is no hope for anybody anymore, except for the people that believe in God. There's hope for them, but not for anybody else. There's no hope for anybody, because people either want to live in sin, they want to be atheists, they want to believe in Norse gods or Greek gods or anything like that. And the reason why that stuff was created is to divide people. When God was talking to Moses and everything, people were making idols, and Moses got very mad about that, because he told everybody specifically that if he got very mad. Okay, I was reading the Bible, and he got the 10 Commandments, and he went down from the, if I don't say this the right way, everybody will get what I mean. People were worshiping an idol. People had an idol. And I think it was like a cow or a calf or something like that. And it was a golden statue. And that's how Greek gods were made. That's how everything was made, because people were sinning. People thought, oh, that's a good idea. Let's make other gods, so that we don't have to believe in Jesus. Because people rather believe in something that's not going to help them than believing in something that is going to help them. And, atheists do believe in something, and that's called the devil. And atheists say, oh, well, I don't believe in anything. I don't believe in religion. I don't believe in this and that. Well, you know what? You know who else doesn't believe in Jesus? You know who else doesn't believe in religion? The devil. And the devil's the Antichrist. And I think that's maybe, I don't know. Can't fully understand of how it works, but yeah, like, we're living in a time now that it's just so dumb. We're living in a time that we can't do anything right. We can't say anything to anybody because it might hurt their feelings. We can't try to make things better. We can't, what everybody needs is good beatings. Let me tell you something. My mom said, you acted like a furry, you acted like an animal, and you got bullied when she was a kid. Like, people look at it now like they have it so rough, But you know what? We're lucky that we don't live when my grandma was a kid. They used to like actually beat kids until they were, until they were just blue, because they would not stop disciplining kids till they got the point to pay attention and listen and not fool around. That's what they need to bring back, because if kids knew that they were getting beat, they wouldn't do things. And if people knew, and if people had discipline, then maybe our world would be better. If people had discipline, our world would be a lot better. And a lot of people did have discipline, and that's, overly disciplined. When I get older, the discipline that I'm going to be giving is, if you don't do, obviously I will be, because my uncle, I have an uncle, his name is Dusty, and he got mad at me so many times, and I know why. Because he had a reason to be mad at me. He had a reason to say the things that he said. Because I either wasn't listening to my mom, or I was smarting off, or I was doing something. He'd actually get up and take me by my shirt sometimes and walk me out the door. I'm not even joking you, in his own house. He would walk me out the door. I mean, I think that was only like one time he did that, but he's a pretty good uncle to me, and I think the reason why I am the way I am right now is because of my family. If I never had the family that I have, I would never be like this. I would never have self-confidence. I'd never have, because I had my dad's side. I mean, they taught me a lot. My grandpa taught me about guitar on my dad's side. My dad's dad, I mean, I'm just learning so much from my family, and that's what is good about family, is you can learn things like that. Because not everybody knows how to play guitar, especially people my age. I mean, I can play Amazing Grace, I can play Jingle Bells, I can play anything. I mean, it's not hard to play guitar. It's really not, if you practice it a lot. Like, it is not hard whatsoever. But just, I know I get off topic sometimes in these videos, but like the atheists and stuff, they're lost, and they don't know, what you don't know what people are going through. So it is very, if someone's going through a lot, it's very hard for somebody to love God when they're blaming God for everything. And, I don't really agree with people blaming everything on God. I don't agree with it at all. So that'll be the end of today's video. Just wanted to say this, that if people are willing to live the way the world wants them to, just know this, that you're going to live a whole life of, sorrow. It's just, a lot of it's just pain, and a lot of it, I don't know. I'm going to end it there because I have nothing else to say. I'm speechless because my brain can't comprehend what I've been saying, so I'm going to leave. Good night.